Welcome to the Learning Lab. My name is Roman Garcia. With these videos that we've been making, what we always try to emphasize is new ideas, new concepts, new terminology, because as the intervention of osteoarthritis is evolving, it kind of doesn't make sense to use old terminology. So what we try to emphasize is coin new terminology that defines what it is, how we intervene in osteoarthritic cases. And the terminology has to expand and evolve along with the procedure. So today what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a terminology or an idea that incorporates these facets of the evolving field of osteoarthritis. And you're going to be exposed to a piece of equipment that if you've been seeing our videos, you've seen before. But now what I want to do is I want to expand on how to better define this intervention facet of the model that's used, at least in our clinics, the models that we use to deal with osteoarthritis of the knee. And an important component of this model is using braces or brace as a means to change the stress profile of the osteoarthritic knee. So what we've done is we've created two categories of braces, and that's something that I want to introduce you to in this video. The way that we classify braces are by using two terms: a smart brace and a dumb brace. If you've seen our past videos, you've been introduced already to what we classify as a smart brace, which is this one right here. In a little while, I'm going to show you some examples of smart braces in different price points. Most people in the public are familiar with dumb braces. Now, a dumb brace is a brace that we define as a brace that doesn't discriminate between the inside or the outside of a knee joint. In other words, it's a brace that you just put it on and it basically acts kind of like a tourniquet. It creates a uniform compression across the knee without any foresight or without any objective on the part of the examiner or the person who puts it on their patient as to what it is that they want to accomplish with putting on this brace on this knee, beside the same old ideas such as stability or to give it support, which really doesn't mean anything, because you don't need to purchase a very expensive brace in order for it to give you support. You can just simply purchase an ACE wrap it around your knee, and you got yourself some support in the knee. So that's basically what a dumb brace is. In a little while, I'm going to take you to a website where you can see some of these dumb braces, which pretty much dominate the brace domain, the brace business. And they pretty much are all dumb braces. But you already know, and you've been introduced to one particular smart brace, which is the DonJoy. And that is a smart brace because the DonJoy, the unloader brace, an unloader brace discriminates depending on where the hinge is between the inside or the outside of the knee. Now, I'm going to show you now some examples here of smart braces. All these braces, depending where the hinge is, will discriminate between the inside or the outside. This is one particular brace, a smart brace, that's in the marketplace. This brace right here costs about $250 price point, a little bit expensive. This is a smart brace right over here. You're all familiar with this particular brace. This is the DonJoy unloader brace. This is also a smart brace. It's lighter than this one, and you can see it's probably a little bit easier to put on. This is a smart brace. Again, it discriminates depending where the hinge is. We don't use this brace anymore. We used to recommend the first generation of DonJoy, but what we experienced with the DonJoy was every successful generation, the actual quality of the material has been decreasing to the point that these braces, if you get 6 months of use from it, you're lucky. The quality, the structure of this brace, of this newer generation of DonJoy unloader brace has decreased substantially. So we do not use it anymore. Now, this is the one that we use now. This is another example of a smart brace, and I'll show you in a little while how we create a smart brace out of a dumb brace, which is how this one was manufactured originally. This one was manufactured as a dumb brace because the best way to identify a dumb brace is that when you look at it, it will have hinges on both sides. That's basically a red flag or the defining facet of a dumb brace. It will have hinges on both sides. This brace goes on like this. Let's say that you put it on the right knee. This would be on the inside, this would be on the outside. You'll have two hinges on both sides. Thus, it doesn't discriminate between one side and the other because you've got hinges on both sides. This is a telltale sign of a dumb brace. But what we've done is that we've gotten this dumb brace and we've made it into a smart brace. And the best thing about that is that the price point. This brace is $50. This is a $50 smart brace compared to this one, which is $250, and this one with substandard quality, which is $150. This is $150, this is $250, and this is $50, and they all do the same thing. So in essence, just to go over what we learned today, we got smart braces, which discriminate between the inside and the outside. These are the kind of braces that you want to use if you have osteoarthritis in your knee. Because in most cases, there's always going to be one side that has more arthritis than the other. You'll either be in bowing or in knock knee. The dumb brace is what most people in the public are familiar with. So but what I want to do now, I just want to show you some Carlos, can you get this? Some examples of how expensive these dumb braces can be. I'm going to show you right now. This is a website. This website right here. This is one of the more popular websites. So you can see the price points. Again, you see an example right over here. It's a hinged knee. It has hinges on both sides. $120 for this one. Again, support on both sides or hinges on both sides. $80 for this one, $75 for that one. This is an example of what you would expect to see on a smart brace right over here. Can you focus in on this? Observe how the hinge is on one side. If that hinge bends, this is a smart brace. This smart brace right over here is $550. But most of the braces on this list right over here, they are all dumb braces because they don't discriminate between the inside and the outside of the knee joint, which is exactly what you need if you have osteoarthritis. And that's what we did. We converted the dumb brace into a smart brace at a very low price point. And you can see these braces can run extremely expensive. They probably average about $300. And therein is where the advantage of these makers of braces. That's where they capitalize on. The public doesn't realize that there are two classifications for braces: dumb brace and a smart brace. The price points between one and the other are usually very narrow because the public doesn't realize that the smart brace for osteoarthritis is what you need because it manipulates the stress profile, and that's what we need. Now, as I said earlier, they all do the same thing. So what we did is, before we started using and manipulating the off-the-shelf dumb brace and converted it into a smart brace, we wanted to make sure that it unloaded. So what we did is we used one case study. We took an x-ray with the brace and without the brace, and I want to show you exactly how the stress profile changes. So you can see that just by manipulating the right brace right off the shelf, you can create an unloader brace for a substantially less price point. So this is the case right here. This is what we did. I wish I would have had it larger, but this is basically the most expedient way of I could bring the information to you folks. The picture on the right hand side of this paper, this is without the brace. This is without the brace. Carlos, follow my finger. This is the vector line right here. Go straight down, and you can observe that this knee right here, this line, when it crosses the inside, this is the inside, this is the inside, and then this is the outside. This is the left knee right here. This is a left knee. You can see that this vector line right here gets real close to the inside of the edge of the bone, of the tibia bone. That means that this knee is in a knocking state. It's knocking propensity. It hasn't crossed, so it's not that severe, but it's definitely knocking. So this image right here is without the brace. Now what we did is we manipulated this dumb brace and made it into a smart brace. We removed the outside part, the outside hinge. We removed the outside hinge, and we left the inside hinge, and we placed it on the left knee. So it went like this on the person's knee. Now you can see on the x-ray the outline of the brace itself. You can see what it does here. Basically, we got these bars right over here and we bent them up. So it creates a vector line across like this. This hinge. It does exactly as these more expensive unloader braces, which in essence, that's their mechanism. It's one bar on one side bent. So we wanted to see if it could be done just by simply bending the bar on a dumb brace and removing one of the hinges. And this is what we got. We put the brace, this is in a non-weight bearing position. The person was laying down, but it will still apply when they're standing, because what we're doing is, what we want with these unloader braces is not necessarily to create a change in the vector lines, which it does, but it's to manipulate the magnitude of load, which is what these triangles represent. So look what happened when we put the brace. The vector line right over here. Carlos, let's go back to the original. Without. Look at the line, observe the line. Look how close it gets to the edge of the bone. Now we put the brace on. We took the same x-ray, same person, same radiologist, same views, everything was exactly the same. And look at the vector line now. You come down, and you see that the line is right at the center. This dumb brace converted into a smart brace actually did the same thing that these more expensive unloader braces right from the factory did. There's no difference. The secret to these unloader braces that are very expensive is in this bar right here that's just bent up. All you need is to remove one of the bars on one side, which is what this dumb brace allows us to do, because it comes like that right from the factory. So we remove one side and we keep the other, depending whether we're trying to correct or manipulate the weight profile on somebody who's bow-legged or not knee. So what I want to do now is you see with your own eyes that this unloader brace for $50 does the same thing, and I would even argue does even a better job, because we can manipulate this bar to degrees that we cannot with these manufactured unloader brace. You can see very clearly that this vector line is real close right to the center. There's no doubt about it that this system is manipulating the vector stress profile of this knee with the brace on. So what I want to do is I'm going to come over here with my assistant, and I'm going to show you how how it's put on. It's very easy.
Hi everybody, welcome to the learning lab. Yeah.
Okay. Here, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Now, like I said, depending on whether you're correcting for valgus, knock knee, or a bowing, okay, the hinge, if it's knock knee, the hinge will go on the inside. If it's a varus or the person's bowing, the hinge will go on the outside. And all you do is remove, manipulate the bar, and then put it right back in. And you got yourself a smart brace, a brace that actually manipulates the weight profile. So the individual, the professional who's using the brace is able to extend its influence on the tissue state by manipulating the weight-bearing load, and you need a smart brace for that. But you don't need to pay hundreds of dollars in order to get that. All you need is the ability to manipulate an off-the-shelf brace like this one, which is what we've been using, and manipulate the bar. Once you verify the person's knocking or bowing, and it's just $50. That's all it is. So I'm going to show you how to use it, how to put it on. We know that Anna is knock knee. So in her case, if I was wanting to manipulate her stress profile and put on an unloader brace on her, a smart brace, I would put the brace on the inside. And this brace is very easy. Muévete para adelante un poco. Okay, the person would be in a sitting position. This is perfect. Así está bien. The person ideally would be in the sitting position. Everything else is the same. This brace is very easy to put on. It's just a regular old brace. Remember, it's a dumb brace. Here like this. Come across like this. Okay. This off-the-shelf brace does offer an advantage that you can really manipulate the how tight or not, how secure it is to the tissues, because it has a series of straps. Now, just like this. Alrighty, come across like this. Alrighty, now, párate. Párate aquí así. There you go. The bars are bent. They're bent upward like that. It's creating a vector force straight down across like this, opening up the lateral compartment. And in essence, that's what it is. A dumb brace converted into a smart brace. $50 price point. You can't beat that. So basically what we've done is we've created a mechanism of how the brace manufacturers, ¿se puede sentar aquí? The brace manufacturers create a smart brace, and it's nothing more complicated than manipulating the bar and having the ability to choose what bar you want on one particular side of your patient's condition. But you need the off-the-shelf brace that allows you to remove, manipulate, and replace. Now, the only disadvantage of using this off-shelf knee brace, this dumb brace converted to a smart brace, is that we're kind of limited in dimensions. The upper dimensions that you can fit this unloader brace around the thigh is 17 inches. 17 inches in the upper thigh. Anywhere between 17 and below, you can use the brace. The calf, the upper limit is 15 inches. So you can use this brace on an individual whose thighs, whose quads are 17 inches and below, and whose calves are 15 inches and below. So that's your limit. Those are your dimensions that you have to work with. And we tried it on individuals above 17 inches, and it just does not fit properly. But the good thing is that most people in walking out on the streets do have thighs that are less than 17 inches. 17 inches is a very big calf, or very, very wide thigh. And 15 inches is a very wide or very large calf muscles. And most people, 90% of the individuals, we've been able to fit with this off-shelf unloader brace, manipulated from a dumb brace to a smart brace. Okay, again, the whole idea of these videos that we do is to introduce new ideas, new concepts, new terminology. Because as the field, as the interventions in treating osteoarthritis are expanding and evolving, you need definitions, you need terminology that are commensurable with the intervention, the new interventions that are being utilized in the facility. So this idea about smart brace, dumb brace is a very important concept for anybody that watches these videos to have. Because if you ever go to an orthopedics office or to a physical therapy center, rehab center, etc., and they recommend a brace for you to use on your injured knee, make sure you ask, is it a smart brace or a dumb brace? Don't be surprised if when you ask him that question, if you're going to see an expression of what are you talking about? But it is a very valid concept to have and implement whenever you are discussing the health of your knees and the braces that are being recommended to you. It's very important. If you have any questions about smart braces, dumb braces, or any questions about really anything joint-wise or knee-related, feel free to contact me on these videos. We always put contact information. And until next time, thank you for watching this video.